Jump out of the bed. Grab the branch, go over to the TV remote. Grab that. Check the code, tell the computer the code, and we'll be able to move on. Pretty annoying code there from Kona. And a pretty good one from whom, actually. So that branch is going to be our introduction to the combination system in this game, where we're going to combine the branch with a bottle of alcohol found in the fridge in order to wet the branch to light the fire. The combination and interaction systems are really what make this game kind of unique, not only as a speed game, but just as a game in general, to how they'll play. It looks like whom has a lead over Kona, even with a bit of an improper sync, I can tell. It's a few seconds for sure. Both of them equipping their light bulb. Whom being the first one to leave, Kona leaving soon after. So now that they're out of the house, they're going to reach the game's first major area, which is going to be the Barrens, which you can see in this picture. The Barrens is the outermost area in this world that Nico has found himself in. And they need to get to the center, which is where the tower is. So thus begins our journey to the center. We're immediately going to get access to fast traveling, which we're going to use a lot throughout the run. Fast traveling is just a great way to move from place to place. As soon as you opened a fast travel location, which is what the runners did when they went up at the beginning of the area, just to go back down again. So now talking to ProfitBot, the next major character you get to see is going to basically tell us a lot of information. We're going to just ask about the one information kind of prompt that is required to talk about, and then we're going to leave him alone. And after that, we're going to go to sleep. So there's a sleep mechanic in this game. In order to build character and world, you're supposed to sleep in this bed once per area. And we do it now because in the same room as the bed, there is the, as you saw, the metal bar, which we do want. We also saw a dream on Kona's side. Whom is using a weird capture, so we didn't see the dream on his side, but we saw it on Kona's. So, again, more character development. Using that metal bar we got, we're going to make a crowbar by using this crushing machine in the bottom of the factory. And again, this goes back to what I was talking about back at the beginning, before the first game even started, involving kind of just building up a seemingly arbitrary list of items to use all at once later on. So that's what they do with the crowbar and what they're going to do with a few items. What they're doing right now, though, is a super fast travel. So I mentioned fast traveling and how you get access to it as soon as you enter the screen. At some points, it is faster to fast travel back off and on the screen again. Because if you do that, it will move you farther along the screen at a faster pace than just normal running can. And running lets you move at about like 6 steps a second. I believe the last time it was timed, it's 10 frames per tile. So, if the super fast travel takes like 2.5 seconds, that's 15 tiles in 2.5 seconds. So, you know, if it's more than 15 tiles, it's usually worth doing. Speaking of things doing, this is what I mentioned. You see whom going through all of this menuing just to craft the battery using all of the previous items that were made in this section. And Kona about to do the same, taking the lens out of the camera with the screwdriver, putting the lens into the broken battery, and then charging the battery with the light bulb. Just a whole sequence of events. The light bulb is an important item in the game, so we're going to have it with us the whole time. It's the new sun of the world, and that's what we need to do to fix it, is we need to put the sun back at the top of the tower. And with the generator on, we can talk to that computer, which gives us a randomized safe code. In the safe is a journal and a gas mask. The journal isn't immediately useful, however, the gas mask is, because it'll allow us into the northern part of the Barrens. Where we're going to learn how to clean off the rust from a robot. There are a few notes back here that'll talk about that, like that one. However, we know how to do that because we've played this game enough times, so we're just going to get the supplies to do so. Which includes all three areas of the Northern Barrens: the dormitories, the shrimp swamp, and the old factory. Actually, a little interesting thing, this area, the what is this place called? The Barrens is the only place other than the top half of Refuge, which is only half of an area technically, but it has its own fast travel menu, where you go to every single location on the map. And because of that, you actually see the list of locations scrolling whenever you open the fast travel menu. That just gets longer and longer as you travel to more and more areas. Whom getting the last item needed for the rust cleaning, which is the smoke in a bottle. After doing a whole bunch of crafting with the water from the lake and the bottle of smoke and the sponge and the gloves that you also found in the old factory, you can make the thing you need to clean the robots. I should also explain what you're looking at on Kona's side with the thing that does not look like it's from this game. I found out in a freak accident a little while ago while planning this tournament that you can replace files in the game, and ever since then we've memed on the files in the game. If you want an example, if you go to the race between Durbil and iPie, which happened on Thursday over on Speed Gaming 3, or it's on the YouTube channel for this, for Speed Gaming. You can see some really weird manipulation of what the files do. So Whom is now leaving the Barrens. After cleaning off the robot, we needed to get a special item from Silver here. And that is the Amber, which Kona is getting now while in a cutscene with Silver. And once you give the Amber to the robot, you're given access to the Glen, which is where Whom just entered. So the Glen is... Oh no. Oh no. That is not good, Kona. Kona! I'm gonna have a talking to. So, in the Glen, the first thing we're presented with is we skip a cutscene by super fast traveling, and then we're given Calamus, who is missing his sister. So, that's really all we have to do right now is find Calamus' sister. This robot likes to block your path like that. Yeah, the most important tech is to meme your files. A lot of places in these ruins are covered in vines, including the place where Alula, Calamus' sister, is hidden. You're not supposed to know that. Don't tell anyone I told you that. But we're going to retreat those vines by talking to Maze here, who is dying. And we're going to help her relax while dying by giving her the light bulb. Kona not getting lucky with the robot either. Yeah, so now that Whom has given the light bulb to Maze, the scene has gotten a lot darker because obviously you just lost your main light source. And also the vines have retreated, which allows us to go into this area of the ruins we were not able to go into before and get the thing hidden here. Whom having a little bit of trouble with the beginning of the puzzle, realizing his mistake though and correcting it quickly, rescuing Alula from the squares in this room. The squares are not good. Those are dangerous, just as a warning. So, Whom has now rescued Alula, and Kona is on his way to do so. So, what Whom's going to do with Alula is do what you'd always do with a child. And herd rams. That is an interesting texture glitch. So this ram herding section is kind of, if you've ever played a Pokemon game, which I'm assuming a lot of people in here have, it's kind of similar to a strength puzzle you'd find in a place like Victory Road, where you have to push objects onto certain spots. In this case, you have to herd the rams onto the dark patches of grass, and for doing so, you get a piece of wool, which you can trade in right over here to where Whom is going, and get a bottle of dye out of it. And then once everything else is done, the last thing we have to do is actually do what we were tasked with at the beginning and return Alula to Calamus. We're invited to go over to Calamus' house. If we say no, we lose time because then we have to walk all the way over there ourselves. Meanwhile, Calamus will just take us there for free. Kona almost messing up this puzzle here, but fixing the mistake quickly. So no need to worry. Just needs... Yeah, there we go. Also, one thing Whom needs to do is obviously get the light bulb back, because our job is to, well, bring the light bulb to the top of the tower. And we can't do that if we don't have the light bulb, so... Whom's gonna pick it up. It's gone out, but as soon as we pick it up, it goes on again. And now Whom moving on to... That's some really weird texture glitching on Whom's stream. I don't know what that's causing that. And there's one thing I said we had to do in each area, which Whom hasn't done yet. We need to sleep now, and that's what Whom is doing. So yeah, our second sleep, we just do it right at the end of Glen, because it's the most convenient time to do it. You can't sleep until after you receive the vines. And there's no other point except for the very end where you need to go to the gate. So we just use the time right when we fast travel to the gate to get to the third area to sleep, and then immediately craft the feather pen so we can sign the scroll. The combination of the golden feather we got from Alula and Calamus and the dye we got from trading in the wool from the shepherd lets us create a feather pen, which we can sign a scroll, and we need to sign a scroll in order to traverse to the third area of the game, the refuge, which we're on our way to now. You can see the squares turning red, so you know we're almost there. Kona getting into the Glen to sleep. So the refuge is interesting. Coming up, we have a cutscene involving our next major character, the Lamplighter. The Lamplighter has a broken elevator problem. So we're going to fix the elevator, because the actual problem is the elevator button. The magnetic button that leads to the ground portion of the refuge has gone missing. So we're going to craft an entirely new magnetic ground button. Kona is about to head into refuge to do the same thing. So, whom's second sleep here, or third sleep, my bad, is kind of weird. Because the way that this goes is, for some reason, that is an indoor room that doesn't have a fast travel point, but you can fast travel out of it. But you just get the sleep done now before going on to the next part of the refuge. Kona about to head to the sleep, it looks like. Yep. This is probably one of the most unique puzzles here. So after you do everything to craft the elevator button, you actually have to go into this office to use a tape dispenser bolted to a desk in order to make your button work. If you try the magnetized button, so like if you cut out the coffee tin, the word ground on the coffee tin, and then put the magnets on it, and try and put it in the button panel, it'll break down and you'll get an item called You Tried, because you did try after all. Kona tried the wrong door. He's supposed to go into the second door to get the scissors here. So, yeah, you need to go to the office and tape it, which is a really interesting puzzle solution in this game. Definitely one of the harder ones to figure out. Except for the refuge ground, which we're heading to now, where a lot of the puzzles are either just really hard to find the solution to in-game, or just straight-up luck. Fortunately, there's a pretty big skip coming up that's going to skip everything I just mentioned. I'm going to reduce the luck factor to about 3 seconds maximum. It's great. I love it, personally, because I don't like that much luck. Luck is cool in speed games, I guess. It creates a good balance, but a lot of the luck in the refuge round was just annoying. It removes all of the annoying luck, and it keeps in very minor luck, which is good, because we get to meme about this 3-second difference being like the worst thing in the whole run. So what's interesting is we actually set up like a sequence of fast travels while on the refuge ground. We have to enter the back alley before going to the library, so we can go there and then set up Vendor Street to fast travel there before fast traveling back to the library, which is technically a super fast travel, so that we can do Kip Skip, which is a skip where we go behind the library counter by force closing the game, which plays an extra cutscene where Nico gets scared because you didn't close the game using a conventional method like the bed and instead force closed it. And then once you do that, it plays a cutscene on top of another cutscene, and the original cutscene was supposed to push you backwards a tile. But since you closed the game, it since you closed the game, it opens up that cutscene on top of the cutscene you were supposed to be pushed back on, so that one never plays, and you can just skip everything. Technically, library card skip or like book bot skip are two better names for it, but we like to call it Kip skip because it does technically skip the character named Kip, and also it's just a more fun name to say than library card or book bot. Story stuff. Speaking of story stuff, we gave George here the journal, which allows us to not only know what to do to get into the end of the game, but we need 3 golden items, and we have the feather and the amber, and George gives us the 3rd golden item, which is this dice right here. Speaking of dice, George is a dice, I think, if you haven't noticed. And George's has 6 faces. Each of them have a different amount of dialogue and a different personality. The fastest personality you can get is George 5's personality, with, yeah, when their head is a 5. And the slowest one you can get is 3. Kona actually got the second slowest one in 2. However, 2 is still pretty faster than 3 because 3's dialogue just has a lot of ellipses, and which are not fun. How can I tell George is a dice? I'm not prepared to answer that question. So let's see what George Kona gets, because if it's a good George, he could save like 2 seconds. Okay, yeah. See, this is the problem with George 3. You see all the ellipses. Meanwhile, what you see whom doing is entering the X room of the tower. If you have all 3 golden items and you close the game, it will send you into the tower, which is the final area of the game, and the area of the game we need to go to in order to, return the sun and save the world. So in this kind of empty room, there's a computer here. This computer is actually a sentient character that is trying to stop us from reaching the top of the tower because, unlike we were told, if we put the sun back at the top of the tower, Nico will actually not return home. And to return home, we do have to break the light bulb. So the character in the computer known as the Entity is trying to stop us actually from reaching the top of the tower. But we know better. We have a program open in the background that usually is only accessible at this point, but is in the game file. So we had it open the whole time, which allows us to communicate with the creator of the world kind of in a bit more fourth wall breaking for character development, because that's what this game loves to do. And allow us this final puzzle section in the tower. The tower is kind of mind trippy, which was its intent. It's kind of messing with your computer, involving some of the stuff you have to do to access it and understand where to go. However, it's not random. Unlike the 2 passwords back at the beginning of the game, it's not random. That doesn't mean it's easy. It's a very hard section to do because not only can you lose small amounts of times, but with this door section here and coming up soon with the tile puzzles, like the puzzle you saw when we freed Alula all the way back in Glen, if you make one misstep and go in a wrong door or step on a wrong tile, it can become hell to recover. So you see whom on the final set of puzzles, the tile puzzle. Yeah, you use the clover file we have in the background because you get a clover in your inventory for this section, and if you equip it and line it up with the clover file that we have open in order to access this part of the game, it will kind of just tell you the solutions. It will point at the right door. It's a very interesting mechanic. I think it would be better if you could actually control Nico while the clover was in focus, but you can't, so it's annoying. Kona getting ready to head in the final section of the game as Whom grabs the light bulb for the final time, putting us at a kind of memory place at the bottom of the stairs where we first got the light bulb. So here is a set of cutscenes where Windows pop-ups come up and try and talk to you. That is the entity speaking to you because it can't speak to you normally without the computer. It can speak to Nico, actually, but like both. But it's speaking to you specifically about how it's telling you, well, you're already here, I can't stop you. Nico can't go home and save the world at the same time. And this final cutscene is basically where whom is in the elevator is basically you having to tell Nico, hey, I can't do both. And it's a very emotional moment in the game, but this is a speed run. We've seen it too many times. We just need to get whom to the top of the tower immediately, which the elevator's almost done. You can move around in this elevator, fun fact. However, you just usually want to stay through the door so you can open it as soon as possible. Whom is going to be taking the first race of this best of 3 with a 25:40, an absolutely amazing time, only 2 seconds off of his personal best, 3 seconds off of the world record, and 3 seconds faster than third place. That was an amazing run by Whom. A really interesting solution from Kona on this light bulb puzzle. That is definitely not what the fastest option is. However, that was still a pretty interesting option from Kona. All right, now Kona is back in the tower. Just got to get to the top now. Kona's personal best is a 27:08, so we'll not be beating that, but we'll probably still get a... I'm actually not sure if this will still be a 27. Probably will either be a high 27 or a low 28. Yeah, Whom did absolutely nail that race. 0.99. All right. Sorry about that. It looks like Kona did manage to get a 27, though, with the 27:58, tying the PB of the person in the tournament who currently has the lowest PB, which is good, I guess, going into the next race. However, that's not who Konasumi is going to be racing if he loses this race. He's going to be facing Baster09, who is, I think, currently 5 seconds ahead of Kona on PB. Yeah, and Baster just joined us in chat, actually. Very exciting. So we're probably going to take a quick bit of break in between the two races before getting into Game 2. So I'll see you guys in a minute or so. All right. So yeah, we see Konasumi's game opening. I mentioned we were able to make like custom assets. Whom is using an MS Paint title screen of a Riolu that I made him. I made kind of really... They were bad. I was kind of trying. I wasn't trying to be good because I know I'm not really good, but I tried to make like MS Paint title screens for everyone. Meanwhile, Kona is using one that he made, which is kind of obvious because I don't think anybody else would want to make this. That was an interesting sound. Okay, it looks like both of them are ready. Alright, I had to do the countdown myself. However, stream delay, so it should be getting started fairly shortly. Kona still has not reset his timer. Wow, the sync is so good. RNG manipulation. Kona. Kona. Alright, Kona's moving now. Alright, getting timer synced now, hopefully correctly. It looks like both of them have their computer codes in, getting their torches lit, getting their basement keys. And in the basement, we'll see whom get a 50, I think a low 55 on the light bulb grab. Meanwhile, Kona gets a low 59. So this looks to be about the same lead from last race. Whom, okay, I was about to say, whom seems to not be equipping the light bulb. Alright, now both of them are in Barons again. Yay. So, yeah, both talking to Propbot again. Hopefully nobody picks the wrong thing. Alright. Sorry, I was doing some audio stuff quickly, but... Okay, looks like Whom has a great lead so far. I don't know what's caused that, because I was looking a way to fix audio, but yeah, crazy lead for whom at the start here. You know, the person that very obviously needs it. No, I'm joking around. But, yeah, whom is doing great. Already in the factory with the metal rod and the crowbar. Meanwhile, Kona's still talking about the dream. So we're in, like, many places. All right, whom? I'm gonna be the first one to enter the mines, it looks like, at this rate. Yep, head in there now. Meanwhile, Kona still in the cliffs. This is a surprising lead. Even despite this gap in skill between these two, it's very surprising to see this big a lead this early for whom. But this is just the type of game this can be sometimes. So, yeah. Whom on his way to craft battery. I've never seen actually someone craft the battery this close to the generator. Just kind of side note, a lot of people have really weird things they do in this game. One of mine is I like to do crafts in the weirdest position. So, like, I'll make the button in the middle of the apartment for the elevator, or I'll just do, like, the battery right in front of the computer. Nice job opening the safe. I was looking away, so I don't know what happened, but it opened, so that's good. This is just... Oh, okay. What a bad save code. That's another thing. I mentioned with George, we like to judge... what's it called? We like to judge the luck we get with George, even though it's actually not that major. The codes are another thing we like to judge. You can input any number from 0 through 9 on the codes, and you can scroll downward so you can start from 9. We like to kind of judge the codes based on how long they take to input. I believe the best safe code we've ever seen was 840200, and the worst one we've ever seen was, I don't want to look at it, it's cursed. This robot looks kind of rusty. Kona mentioned his hands were cold at the end of last race, forgetting the gloves! Oh no, that is bad for Kona. That is, we need an F. We need an oof. We need whatever you have. It didn't, whom didn't forget the gloves, so he can make his sponge just fine. Looks like he was so worried about getting gloves for his real life hands, he forgot about gloves for Nico's hands. Kona still hasn't noticed. Whom is playing chess now. Really good pace for whom. still has not seemed to notice. Yeah, didn't notice. Yeah, he looks confused. He seems I think yep, going to Old Factory. Meanwhile, wh0mi on an amazing pace exiting the Barrens here. Okay, now with the gloves, now with the sponge, Kona can help Robot. Still needs to play chess, so Kona's a fair bit behind right now. wh0m, meanwhile, is just on absolute rocket pace. You know, no slowing down, hopefully. Kona just starting chess. And wh0m doing the first talk with Alula. Kona finally leaving. A minute behind my PB is still technically 27 pace. So if Kona plays on par with my PB, he could still 27. I'm looking optimistic here. I don't know about you guys. I don't know about his own PB. That might be dead. But at least it'll be dead in style. Yeah, even the world record holder is talking about how Crudes is the world record holder, how wh0m is doing on this run, which is just absolutely crazy. This is amazing. The controller gang, I guess. wh0m is, I don't remember if I mentioned this, I believe our only player to play on controller. Everybody else uses keyboard. And so it's really cool to see this kind of unorthodox control scheme at the top. It's really, I think it's good for anybody that might not want to use keyboard to tell that, hey, you don't need to. Okay, well, we're not counting the dance pad. Please don't. Dance pad is not a controller. I'd like to point that out. I'd like to give a shout out in chat to okay, so story time. iPie for fun started running the game around the same time that Konasumi did. Konasumi made comments about how we should try and optimize our mashing segments by using a dance pad for the arrow keys to move Nico around. And so what iPie did was, instead of doing, like, trying to use it to optimize movement, literally just did an entire run of the game on dance pad, including mashing, and submitted it under an alt account of dummy with a dance pad. So it was amazing. And of course, since they want one in chat, shoutouts to Cute Speed Gamer msushi100. That's not actually who asked for a shoutout, but that's who gets it. Kona doing a bit of a weird solution to that puzzle compared to what you normally see, but did a good job with it, so I'm not complaining. Only lost a little bit of time over the normal puzzle. Again, you lose, or not you lose, but okay, I guess you lose. You lose 1 second for every 6 extra tiles you run. Each tile takes 10 frames to run, to move, and it's a 60 FPS game, so you move a tile every 10 frames, 6 tiles per second. So in puzzle solutions, you really do want to work down on your movement optimization. In the RAM puzzle that's coming up that wh0m already did and Kona's about to do, it takes like, I think 34 frames. The last time I timed it, it takes 34 frames in order to push a RAM across a whole tile. And so that is another thing that can be optimized. A lot of the time, though, nothing else has to move other than you. So you just kind of have to move at what you know is good. Yeah, Baster, whose fault is it that M-Sushi doesn't even have my $4.99 though? Let's think about that one for a second. And fortunately, it looks like wh0m did not slow down at all from that Barons going into this Glen. This is still an absolutely insane run by wh0m. This is not my fault. And Kona taking the die. Looks like nobody took the t-shirt. If you say no to Magpie's offer to give you the die, you can get, on top of it, a commemorative RAM t-shirt. And if you bring that t-shirt to a special place in the refuge, you can enter the secret RAM club, which is just the fun area. And there's a category all about making it to that club. I told you in chat, Baster. Okay. Kona, still doing a pretty alright job. It looks like, despite the mistake in the Barons, this is a surprisingly easy game to go on tilt with, actually. And it looks like despite the big mistakes in the Barons, especially considering the gloves, it looks like Kona has done a good job getting through the Glen relatively quickly. So it's good for Kona to still be doing well, despite just having a huge lead against him, because wh0m is just absolutely crazy. You can see the mashing speed is great. Like, as Kona's getting into the second dream, wh0m is getting into the third, which is like, I think, is that a 2-minute difference? I'm not sure the exact amount of time, but it is a huge difference. Happy 12th birthday, ZFG. Oh, jeez. Yeah, the one, I should mention, if for those not seeing chat right now, us in this community, if you haven't seen the Fortnite title screens and the Fortnite burger helmet, we like to joke around in this community. There's a lot of like memes and jokes that go on about just the dumbest of things. I've already mentioned the like the 2-second luck factors that we like to joke about. This is just a whole community of just having a good time. And that being said, if you ever want to run this game yourself, if you go to speedrun.com/oneshot, you can not only find our Discord, where we talk fairly often and have a lot of people in there that like to talk about the game and just joke around when it comes to the game. We also have several guides for several versions of the game. And we have a ton of people, like even more people than the 8 in this tournament, that are definitely willing to give you advice on the best way to run this game. And yes, the developers are in the Discord as well, so they also should be able to help you if you need anything. Or you can just talk to them. They like, I'm not sure. They're very busy people, so Of course, it's appreciated to not to spam them, but it's definitely good to have them there. It's definitely good to see the devs appreciate the speedrunner community of this game, especially because two of them, Eliza and Gur, who are the two in the server, are also speedrunners themselves. Gur running Hyper Light Drifter in the past, and Eliza currently running Oblivion Elder Scrolls. So it's really cool to have, especially because this is not a game that seems like a speed game on the surface. So it's kind of just crazy that, you know, we just have the support we do in this community. And, alright, we have whom on Ground Refuge, so coming up to Kip Skip and the Refuge Ground fast travel sequence. This is kind of one of the parts where you need to have your brain in the game. Of course, that and Tower, which, as you might have seen last race, is pretty crazy. Alright, we'll see what Georgie gets. So, last time, Whom got George 2. And here we got George 1. George 1 is the third fastest. Only about 4 frames. Oh no, we got an extra George talk. Oh no. Oh, that is not good for Whom. Whom was doing really good. Refuge definitely didn't slow down until then, so hopefully this doesn't take him off a great pace. But that is definitely not good mistakes to make. George, so it is still a pretty good to get George 1. You'll only be losing about, I think, 0.7 or so to the fastest George, which is George 5. And you only lose, again, you only lose 4 frames to the second fastest George, which is George 6. Incorrect elevator code entry from Konasumi. This elevator code, unlike the 2 codes you see in the Barrens and the House, are actually the same every time. The elevator code is always going to be 63014 as a reference to the original freeware release of this game being June 30th, 2014. This tournament takes place on the Steam version, as it is a very different game and generally just a better speed game to many people. There is still, although pretty inactive, a few runners, including myself and Steam world record holder Crudes, in that have played that version. However, there are much less resources. I've wanted to make a guide for the original version, but I've not gotten around to it yet. Kona on the ground. Meanwhile, Whom is entering the tower. This is an absolutely crazy run from Whom. Let's hope Tower. According to chat, Whom is 8 seconds ahead of PB right now, which means 7 seconds ahead of world record, which means current pace is 25:30 flat. So this is definitely exciting time to be here. The current previous best time in a tournament race was our world record holder Crudes, who in their second race against Baster on Wednesday scored a 25:38, which is Whom's current PB, although Whom's at that time had a 25:51. Again, a massive streak of PBs today gave Whom like a 14-second PB upgrade. And another George 3 from Kona. Kona's gotten the slowest George twice in a row. All right, Whom, get in that tower. Talking to the entity here. All right, tower is up. That is that's that is definitely something to have a nightmare about. I love this game's memes. Shoutouts to Ninja. Chat. By mentioning that, I probably just lost all the attention of everybody that got attention from world record pace. Yeah, you could say that. You could say that wh0m is on first right now. I love that pun, actually. Thank you for telling me that. I cursed it? I was not the one who added that. That was not my doing. That was Kona himself. This is his own curse. Oh, no. I don't know what that was in the background of wh0m's game that crashed. Oh, no. Okay, good recovery. Good recovery. Dot in the middle, very well. All right, now light bulb is the hardest one. So, wh0m? No, making mistakes. Okay, had an easy recover. Not slowing down. Having more mistakes. This is bad. Okay, there have been too many really, like, scary recoveries. Getting a down tile. At the end of tile puzzles like that, you have like an input where you can walk on a thing. A down tile is good on this part because you have to go down, but... Yeah, that was not good from wh0m. That might have choked the record away, along with the thing that happened in Refuge Ground, where he double talked George, which is one of the worst double talks. Alright, so just like last time, Kona's going to be entering the puzzle part of the tower after wh0m has already finished it. Except wh0m is, like, way farther ahead now. Alright, let's go. Mashing in the elevator. Kona about to enter the puzzles in the tower. We'll see how he does on them. wh0m, get mashing. Get mashing as fast as you can. Do not stop. I don't think this is it. I think it's dead now. That is unfortunate. It might be another 40. Oh, actually. Is that a PB tie? Okay, that's a 39. Really unfortunate. However, it does give wh0m the second win of the best of 3. Which also gives him the win of the whole set against Konasumi. Very good job, despite the chokes at the end. That's an interesting thing to happen in a tile puzzle. Okay, Kona can work around this. Yeah. Oh, no, that's not what you want to do, Kona. That is actually fine. That is not how you light bulb. Kona. I think Kona realizes. He has to go up. Yeah, this is what can happen if you mess up the tile puzzles really badly. You can just kind of have to shuffle around.
Hello?
And, alright, well, Kona is shuffling around still in this light bulb puzzle.
Oh, gotcha.
We have Whom with us, so congratulations.
Thank you.
I want to ask how you feel about your races, but I do want to warn you, keep it friendly, family friendly, because I do have a bit of an idea what you might be feeling after that.
Well, I mean, I'm glad that I got a 25-40 and 25-39. That's insane.
Yeah, that is really good.
I don't know what happened, Tower.
Yeah, it was very unfortunate. You had a lot of things that I'm kind of angry about, because there are so many tower saves that are so hard to do, and yet all of your mistakes you were able to fix within a second, and I was like, no, struggle more.
Well, I did struggle at the end.
But yeah, it's kind of unfortunate that happened. We were all really excited, but definitely a great job. Definitely shows you have potential to do great against the world record, which, speaking of the world record, because of this victory, and I'm going to update the challenge page now because people get mad at me for not doing that, your next opponent is going to be the world record holder. How do you feel going against Crudes?
Well, last weekend when I had, 25-49 as my PB, I was like, alright, well, this game's just going to be kind of a throw for me, but I don't know what happened this weekend. Finally got my controller ready. So,
yep,
got to get that controller world record during the race.
Yeah, and meanwhile, I guess we can ask, how do you think Kona is going to do against Baster?
Well, that'll be a match. Actually, what did Kona get? I don't have the stream up right now.
Well, Kona just finished with a 29-42. Had a lot of unfortunate things happen. A lot of light bulb chokes, forgot the gloves. Yeah.
Oh, God.
That second game was kind of a mess for Kona.
Yeah, my start was a mess, just because that house was pretty bad in the code, but...
Yeah. And speaking of Kona, now Kona's here with us.
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
I was...
So you think you're too cool for gloves?
Yep.
Oof. Yeah,
Made that grave mistake.
Yeah, it was still a good job, though.
I didn't play as well as I hoped I would, but I was never expecting to win against him. Apparently you're on world record pace or something. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, I guess it was minus 5 seconds off of world record going into the final split and choke tower.
Dang.
Yeah.
It wasn't 0.1 PB. Let's go.
It was still really fun to watch. Definitely good to know you have that consistency, because Crudes did score a 25-38 against Baster in game 2 of his race. So you two are both in that zone where you could definitely smash the record soon, and it'll be exciting because I feel like that could definitely be where the record. We could probably see a double record. In a race, if nobody gets it before the race. So, Kona, I don't think I have to tell you that you lost this round, but that puts you against... Go ahead.
Oh, I knew that before the race started.
Yeah. So you have to go up against Baster. How do you feel about that one?
That's going to be hype, because we're pretty similar on a skill level.
Yep, I definitely...
It'll be a more fair matchup, so it'll be interesting to see what happens.
I definitely agree with that. That's going to be a match I want to watch, because knowing who I'm going up against next round in Derbil, I'm probably going to be facing the winner of your match. So it's definitely one I'm going to want to watch. Which is great, because Baster kind of has friendly rivalries with both you and me.
Yeah.
So...
We're all pretty close.
Top half of losers bracket is definitely just a series of grudge matches.
It's gonna be really fun. I'm looking forward to it. Once I get the dance pad, you're all going down.
That sounds like a threat. So, looking on the schedule right now. If I know how to type. It looks like we have one race scheduled in round 2 is going to be my race versus Durbil on Tuesday at 7 p.m. I believe Chris and iPie might have a time planned, but haven't submitted it yet. So we'll make sure that they get on the thing. But now you two have races to schedule, so...
Yep.
Yeah.
Get those done soon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, try to get mine scheduled next weekend, because that's the only time I can play. Feels bad.
Dang.
Well, at least you can play. And it's definitely great watching you when you're on paces like this.
Yeah, I'll have to rewatch it, see what you did.
So, I guess, speaking of schedules and watching stuff upcoming on Speed Gaming that's on the schedule that you can watch. We have 2 other races tonight. If you go to this main channel, Speed Gaming, right now, in about 20 minutes, there's going to be a Shovel Knight race, low percent tournament winners finals, which is really exciting. I will love watching Shovel Knight. Like, this is probably an outlier of one of my speed games. I love running side scrollers, so I definitely recommend checking that one out. Or if you want more top-down adventure action like this game has, there's Zelda Randomizer at 10 p.m. So, on this channel, Speed Gaming 2. So, definitely 2 good things to check out on Speed Gaming for the rest of the night. And speaking of the rest of your night, I hope you enjoy said night. Do you two have anything to say before we sign off?
In the tower, I apparently forgot what the light bulb looked like for a minute.
Oof.
What the bottom half looked like, and I was trying to swarm around. So, pro tip from me: make sure you know what a light bulb looks like before you play one shot.
Same.
That is definitely good advice.
It was bad.
I would have also accepted you to say heat dab, but that is also good advice.
I hope everybody enjoyed the memes I put on my graphics.
I definitely I was told to have cursed the run when I said shoutouts to Ninja after your nightmare. And right after I said I did not curse it, whom choke tower, so I might have.
Ooh.
Who knows? But it's definitely funny to see what things have done. If you go back to Derb and iPie for the second race of their matchup, the iPie went all out on the graphics. So
yeah. If you haven't seen that race, it was really fun to watch. So many memes.
Absolutely. So, and I was on commentary for that with Baster, which is a really fun duo. But yeah, again, we're gonna wrap up. Schedule has 2 more races, not of this game, but of other games today. Make sure to follow the runners; they did a great job.
Thanks for hosting our tournament, Speed Gaming. And if you enjoyed today's race, be sure to check out any future races. You can click the link in the schedule thing in chat. It'll be updated as time goes on.
All right.
That's all I got.
GG.
Yeah, that's a good ending.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. So thanks everyone for stopping by. We'll see you hopefully soon. I don't think anyone's going to be scheduling for Sunday or Monday. So see you Tuesday, where I'm going to get my butt kicked.
Or clutch.
Who knows?